So I wasn't even going to be on for their last 2 raid days because Grim and Modvic invited me to come over and play with them on Immortal Lands. And Crom's hideout was wiping anyway, so there wasn't really a point for me to even bother playing, and most of the servers seemed to think that way too, since there was only like 30 people on max during those days. But anyway, I called over Toasty since he was somebody who had recognized me from a previous server we played on called Irrelevant. And I figured, you know what, I have all of this stuff in my base, somebody might as well make use of it for the last couple of days. You know what, I'll give it to him. And so I called him over and I was walking him through the base and showing him where everything was when the server owner took the server down to reboot it for whatever reason, and they had massive issues trying to get it back up. And actually it took them so long to get it back up that by the time raid time was over on Immortal Lands, I was able to hop right back onto Crom's hideout for their raid time since they pushed him back. And that's where we continue the story from. Apparently, Sweet Paprika has come back for revenge, so...
Did you see that? Hold in the name of Set.
Shug.
Yasog!
Now after this, both of them decided that, you know what, they were done. That they'd failed the raid and they were just going to get off for the night. But even still, out of all the people I hit during this wipe, for them to come back, for them to be the only ones to come back and try and retaliate and raid me back, you know what, I have to give them props, and you know what, I respect it. Both of you guys, if I'd been a little quicker before you guys hopped off, I would have asked for your base coordinates to try and counter raid you, but unfortunately that didn't happen, so I just, you know what, again, I respect the attempt, and I hope to see both of you guys again. Now, after this attempted raid, which happened like right away, there was still like 3 hours left of raid time or something like that, so I decided I was just going to run around and bomb any vaults or, you know, smaller bases that looked interesting. And so I ran over to Shattered Springs and decided to blow the vault that Perfect Harmony had. After that, there was this brand new, I mean, like, literally, it was built, like, just the day before, or something, like, that soon. PvP pyramid tower thing right next to Sinkhole, and I decided, you know what, why not? You know what, let's just blow into this thing because I have nothing better to do. Now, these two guys had joined into the server and were just running around, and I'd already ran into them, had a chat with them, and they came over to see what I was doing, and yes, the one guy just falls right in, and it was pretty funny. You can't really... I was in a voice chat at the time with a bunch of other people, which was kind of... It was a bit of a mistake in all honesty, because everybody was just talking and doing their own thing, and it was... a bit of a mess, so I've muted the audio for that, but he falls in and his initial reaction is just, oh no, and it was pretty funny. And now we're introduced to Mr. Bugs Bunny, and you'll see why I'm calling him that here in a second, and he is absolutely terrible. His entire clan, I mean, they raid the noobs that I was tangling with over at Gutter here, Sir Psycho and whatever the rest of them were, and they end up resorting to goombeing them. I mean, like, goombeing is such a noobish way to try and get an easy kill when you suck at PvP, and the fact that you do it on noobs, I mean, it just shows, and that you brag about it too. I mean, you... Sucks to suck, I guess. And now we come to what's going to lead into probably one of the highlights of this wipe here, because Perfect Harmony here did take notice of me blowing up their vault, and yeah, they came over to Sinkhole, and I guess they saw me and Bugs here running away from it and decided to chase after us here. And ultimately, this ends up becoming a 3v1. I mean, they stop trying to kill Bugs, and all of them start targeting down me, which is fine. But I mean, I'm not gonna fight a 3v1 out in the open where you have the advantage. So yeah, I run back to my PvP pyramid to try and make things a little more even and a little more fair, and put things in my advantage rather than disadvantage, especially when you're solo. Never engage the enemy on their terms unless you're willing to just throw stuff away. Now, unfortunately, after this, they actually started to pull together as a team and work together, and whoever was with the bow just shooting poison clouds everywhere just prevent me from being able to heal. That was pretty much it for me being able to take them on like I was before. They figured it out that they couldn't just keep kind of 1-2 at me at a time. They had to actually yank up on me and start working as a team if they wanted to kill me. So, a little unfortunate, but you know, that's kind of expected. Eventually people will pick up on this and actually, you know, start changing and taking you a little more seriously as a threat.
Alright, so it's a few hours until server wipes. So I log on one last time, see about making presents and shit, and then I noticed that part of the base here is missing. Oh, okay, an entire part of the base is missing. Oh, okay, well. Oh, Circa's missing. Oh, this door's missing. Oh, shit. Look at that. There's a big old hole here. And yeah, it's perfect harmony.
Now, overall, I enjoyed my time on Crom's Hideout quite a bit. It might not be the best server performance-wise, and the rules set isn't what I typically play with, but I really had one hell of a time on it. The interactions and story that ended up unfolding was pretty fantastic, and really gave me something worth spending ludicrous amounts of time editing into a series. And if you've watched this mini-series to get to this point, thank you. This is the first time I've done something like this, and I'm mostly doing it for my own enjoyment, but if there's at least, you know, a couple of others out there who also found some kind of enjoyment in this, you know, that just makes it doubly worth the time it took to make this. I plan on making more of these in the future when I'm able. It might be a little while due to life stuff, but keep an eye out, subscribe, all that stuff, you know, rejoice, retell, support, and I hope to see you again. This has been King Without a Kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. Farewell for now.